Hey everyone, welcome back to another Deadlock video here. It's me, Davrith. So, got a little bit of a different video here. Got some gameplay right out of a recent game I had, good fun. I want to talk a little bit about the state of the game with Deadlock, my thoughts, maybe some things that I'd like to see. How are things going? There's been a lot of recent updates and all that. So, for those of you that are unfamiliar, Deadlock is a game that's not even fully released yet, not even in a public beta yet. It's just in the still pre-release version. You have to have an invite in order to even play it in the first place. So it's a pretty small player base. They make lots of changes. There's very constant changes, lots of updates. Even though small player base, it is fairly active. It's a game that over time has kind of declined in interest. So it really started out as like more of a hot thing once people heard about it, and once it was even in this more public version after the NDA time. So it's made by Valve. People are really excited about it. And since then, about 8 months ago, I think, it had its peak of excitement, and then people have kind of settled down with it. So where does that leave Deadlock today? So in my opinion, it leaves a steady decline of players. So what that means is there's gonna be a lot of people that are pretty good at the game. A lot of people that know what they're doing, know what's going on in the game, and that's fine. That's a good thing. You want to play with people that are your same skill level, but it's hard for newer players to join in now. So you don't see as many new players join. I've tried and failed to convince many people I know to play the game, because maybe they'll play a round or two and just say, there's so much going on, try to get into it. But it's still a great game, so it's hard right now to bridge that gap because there are so many people that are familiar with the game and are getting pretty good, especially with certain characters. Even me, as having lots of hours in the game, for me, if I'm still trying to learn a new character, then that can be pretty tough. Recently, I've even been trying to learn some new characters, trying to learn like Yamato, and it's been a little rough going because I think the MMR system, the matchmaking isn't always on point there, and it might just be the times when I'm playing. But it can be hard. Sometimes it feels like I'm in very similar lobbies as I would be if I was playing someone like Viscous, as you see, where I'm a little bit better, more comfortable with the Viscous kit and everything, and the play style there. Sometimes it feels like I'm not actually playing that much further below where I should be, even though that's what they said they would do. So it's kind of hard to learn these new characters without feeling like you're just tanking your account. Not that that matters necessarily, but she's about to hit a really good snipe, of course. Yeah, I don't know about those snipes sometimes. Anyways, but yeah, Deadlock has seen a lot of big changes over time, and that kind of speaks to it being pre-beta, even. I don't know, maybe pre-alpha. I don't know what it's called, but there used to be 4 lanes in Deadlock, which created a lot of different energy than it is now. You had some solo lanes, you had more objectives, more things going on there on the map. Now we have 3 lanes, less overall objectives. The objectives have more health, and now we have more jungle on the map. However, they had some recent changes, and I know this has been kind of hot topic in the Deadlock community about the souls that jungles gave, and they'd actually reduced them down enough where it's basically pointless to farm before a certain point, because it takes too long. You might as well just stay on lane to get the creeps. And that's something that, you know, is something that we enjoy about Deadlock, is that there's a lot of options, a lot of kind of higher level strategy going on, that you don't want to just be kind of shoved into only one style of play there. So, you know, before it was 4 lanes, even in the laning phase, you could gank people. If you were a dual lane, you might gank from one of the solo lanes. You might go for a little bit of jungle. You might be looking just for a few more options. Now so far you can't even really gank at all. They push the jungle times out a little bit, and they don't do as much. So even if you ever leave your lane, then it feels like you're just going to be throwing your lane because there's already 2 people there. So ganking already feels out of the question until you actually win or lose that lane. And so you can't really expect any help. You're just kind of there with your duo, and that's just the way, you're just kind of stuck there. And it's not until around 8 minutes when you actually get the sinner sacrifices up, you get some more of those jungle camps, so you can finally have a few more things to do around the map. You know, teleporters aren't coming online for several minutes, which kind of makes the beginning of the game now like you're just kind of stuck with it, which is weird. It's not normal for Deadlock. So, you know, there's a lot of things that are just kind of happening here, and it kind of pushes more towards team fights and just huge battling encounters, which is not everyone's strength, not every hero's strength. So it kind of makes some heroes better or worse than others. You know, I would be kind of curious to see, you know, in some other MOBA style games you might have people that are dedicated junglers. I would be interested to see if they let the jungle spawn in earlier in the game, instead of having you wait so long to even have any, and have that be a viable option where you actually have someone that's mostly jungling and then they can still provide ganks. You know, I think it works well in a game like League of Legends that you can have a player like that on your team. So it'd be interesting to see if they could incorporate something like that. I don't necessarily know the long-term effects would be, but it just seems weird that they're kind of shoehorning you in early game to just play these 2v2 little matches as you're waiting for kind of a larger strategy to kick off. You know, overall, I'm pretty optimistic. I think Deadlock is a lot of fun. You know, a third-person hero shooter, MOBA, combination hybrid. You can build out all these crazy combinations. You know, I think it's a great game. I think it's got a lot going for it. I think there's so much you can do, so much tech and skill that you can bring to the game that makes it very satisfying, very enjoyable. That, you know, I don't mind them workshopping and figuring things out. I just hope they don't go too far. You know, you gotta make sure the game still is fun at the end of the day. And I'm sure I've been doubtful at times for some of these changes. Make sure, you know, I hope that everyone can kind of unite and just help bring their feedback to the team, the dev team, and we can get a good community. You know, I think it's a great game, and it's not even out yet. So my real hope is that they'll actually have more of a full release soon, because I think some more positive coverage of Deadlock, bring in some new players would be really nice. Maybe selfishly, I know that would bring in some people that I could play with, as well as just kind of broadening what's possible in this game, bring in some new skill sets, some new build ideas. And I know that this dev team is hard at work. I mean, suddenly it seems like not even a day goes by where there's not at least one update for the game, and that's a huge credit to them. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know a few thoughts about what I'm thinking about Deadlock these days, and I'm still sticking out. I'm a big fan. Been my first MOBA, but couldn't enjoy it anymore. I think it's great. But yeah, that's all for now. Let me know what you guys think. If you think the game's a wash, or you want to try it out, let me know. Thanks. See you in the next one.